Some time ago, I was on the New York City subway going from Penn Station to Hoboken. The journey takes about half an hour, and next to me was a friendly older man who I started talking to. He quickly moved the conversation to religion, and before I knew it, he had a Bible in his hands explaining to me all the important aspects of his faith. I normally don't pay attention to people like him, but on that occasion, I decided to give him a chance to see what his religion had to offer. Me being me, I tried to logically discuss every argument and rational applications in life, to which the man was getting increasingly frustrated. And by the time we arrived in New Jersey, I wasn't sure if I was dealing with a religious person or a mentally unstable individual. It was the first time I experienced personally what it's like being confronted with the power of religious belief that goes beyond reason and logic. I'm telling you this story because many of you come to me saying that you struggle with similar emotional and ideological consequences of your religious upbringing. You say that it's what slows down or even stops your development and causes inner battles and confusion, that you're looking for a comprehensive definition of what religion and spirituality are. It must be a serious problem given that the biggest opposition to my videos has always come from the devout religious fanatics. I decided to talk about this so that you can heal and free yourself from the burden of years of indoctrinating by your environment through me comparing the two spiritual paths available to you on Earth. Once I collected all the arguments when writing this video, I must admit that I myself was shocked when I realized the magnitude of the glaring discrepancy between religion and spirituality. My mission is to help you realize the liberating truth about your life and to help you make conscious choices that should allow you to get closer to the divine and to become spiritually enriched. If my attempts are successful and you get liberated from your inner struggles, please sponsor me so that I can continue my work. Donate to this channel by methods listed on the screen and in the video description. Make a one-time donation or join Patreon or Subscribestar for monthly membership. No amount is too small and your help is very important. You can also schedule a donation-funded chat. Thank you very much for your generosity and your thoughtfulness. Let's discuss religion first. As much as we want religions to be the moral and ethical foundations of our social structures, it seems that's never the case. There is nothing noble or sacred about contemporary religious ideology, and its followers do not represent anything superior to be granted the special place in our society they've been enjoying so far. Religions are primitive, outdated, anti-science, and not applicable to modern times, yet in their self-righteous attitude, they always believe to hold the key to eternal truth. They try to translate highly complex aspects of the metaphysical using a language designed for those who are not equipped or not ready to access the knowledge. Religion claims the rights to concepts that are far more complex and far more scientific than the fear-based, prejudiced beliefs it is based on. There is life before and after death, and the world was created by someone, but this is a matter reserved for metaphysical research and science, rather than a bearded man-in-the-sky type of ideology. To achieve its goals, religions use fake boogeyman and naive scare tactics in form of made-up, non-existent places like hell, purgatory, and so on, trying to convince you that they are physical locations, instead of helping you understand that they're in reality states of mind equal to a given stage of your spiritual development. Religions are based on irrational principles. It's a naive belief in the possibility of the impossible. It is intellectual assassination as it generates faith despite having no foundation in any form of evidence. Religion makes you comfortable with not understanding life. In reality, it is institutionalized delusion. It is so detached from reality that, looking at it objectively, it's difficult not to label it as insanity, and the only thing that stops humans from doing so is a questionable ideological exemption status it has been holding for centuries. What else would you categorize as religious calls for violence against non-believers? There is very little value in religious teachings with no real-life applications, and the knowledge of religious followers is usually of very low quality. There is no integrity in religion. There are many religions which should be a red flag in itself. In fact, there are often many incompatible versions of the same religion. To a scrutinizing observer, it quickly becomes apparent that religions are mostly man-made. They are cleverly designed pyramid schemes in which they can only exist when they're funded by a constant influx of new believers. The role of a religion is to forcefully create unnecessary earthly middlemen between you and the divine. By doing so, it diminishes your role to a silent and obedient servant of an earthly pseudo-spiritual corporate structure. In return for stopping your own developmental quest for the truth and enlightenment, religions offer illusionary freedom from awareness and responsibility, additional price of which is ideological enslavement. Religion forces you to look for everything outside of yourself, ignoring all that is to be discovered inside. In fact, its main task is to make you not deal with the valuable depths of yourself. Emphasis is on an external God, not you. Religions are incredibly possessive and intrusive, always trying to take over as many aspects of your life as possible. Religion expects you to surround your mind to the unknown for reasons that are unexplained, making you a puppet figure in the hands of the earthly middlemen who are humans like you, but claiming to have been given magical powers through which they're allowed to control you. An independent free thinker or truth seeker is always the enemy of religions. Anyone who opens the doors inwards to the soul, to a place where religions have no access, is a threat. That's why religion rejects and demonizes healing and mind-expanding substances and even punishes those who use them. Religious believers are by definition ignorant because the foundation of their faith is rooted in someone else's experience. Religions are used by people to delegate responsibility for their lives. It's a refuge of the immature and the irresponsible ones. Religions are about downgrading you to the role of a sinner who needs to be forgiven. They treat human body as a source of sinful pleasure or evil, which leads to auto-rejection or even auto-destruction. Religions divide. Religion by definition is reinforcement of separatism and intolerance. My God is real and yours is not. My beliefs are true, yours are not. It seems to take very little faith to deploy hatred and violence in the name of promoting religious ideology. But somehow there is never enough faith to make people unite in love. Historically speaking, the cost of earthly religions exceeds many times the benefits to humankind. Religion is useless because good people will do good things and bad people will do bad things despite their religious beliefs. Religion is actually highly damaging to humankind because it takes religion for good people to do bad things. Religious people are very eager to share their ideology with you, but they never want to hear about your religious beliefs. Close-mindedness seems to be a hallmark of every religion. These people easily turn into fanatics because they are unable to change the subject of a conversation, and nothing can change their mind about their faith. Religion is one of the best tools at the establishment's disposal to control and neutralize the masses. In fact, the line between religion and tyranny is usually surprisingly thin. Both religion and despotism have a big problem with human liberty. But religion is exceptionally tyrannical because it wants to control not just your earthly life, but also life beyond this realm. And it claims not only to be in charge of the time you spend on earth, but also hijacks the right to control your eternity. Religions and effectively blind obedience in authority are in fact the curse of humankind. It's a byproduct and an amplifier of human fear. Religion equals weakness. It is nothing but reinforcement of fear and delusion, two most destructive forces to human mind. If guilt, fear, and the idea of sin were removed from religion, not many people would have a reason to be a part of it. Religion in its nature is incredibly limiting because it wants you to live by a strictly defined set of rules and dogmas that have nothing to do with your will or your destiny here. Living in line with religious laws means living without dignity and self-respect. You need to develop fast in this life, but religion is designed to keep you in place, and if that wasn't bad enough, you're expected to self-sacrifice for religious purposes. The reward is stored in mythical realms, accessible only after your death. Subscribers of this absurd ideology usually have very little respect for themselves and their earthly lives. Religion doesn't allow for free divine communication. It's okay for you to talk to your God, but as soon as the God starts talking to you, you're immediately labeled as crazy. But if we were to find anything good about religion, it would be that a religious person is still better than most atheists I meet, as their ideological framework is not attached to anything of substance, making their moral looseness sometimes dangerous to themselves and their surroundings. But that's a subject for a separate video. The description of spirituality is much shorter and easier to digest. Spirituality offers progressive solutions and real-life applications to stagnant and destructive social subscription service we call modern life. It holds the key to eternal truths. It is the gateway to understanding human life and fulfilling your purpose. It offers you access to the language of the metaphysical, which translates the meaning of your spiritual existence. Since spirituality is not being forced on anyone, it shows your willingness to put energy and effort into your life. It is a noble and empowering thing. Spirituality is not designed or codified. It is rooted in the rational, which is based on evidence, scientific analysis, and empirical observations. Spiritual people possess knowledge that usually exceeds that of an average person. One of the main purposes of spirituality is to develop and learn the truth. There's only one version of spirituality, and there is no ideological division within it. In fact, it can be translated into one word: unity. Spiritual people are unified in their ideology and are the most peaceful, tolerant, and empathy-driven members of any society. These people respect Earth and Mother Nature, and their values differ so much from the rest of society that they usually need to willingly separate themselves from the crowds. There is no organized structure within spiritual circles, and the ones that exist grow and develop organically. There are no middlemen in spirituality. It's your job to find a way to connect to and communicate with the divine, and you can do it in any way you want, including the use of mind-expanding substances, which in some cases is strongly advised. Although spiritual people accept the notion of a creator, there is no father figure or God in the center of spiritual teachings. You are in the center of spiritual teachings. The emphasis is on you and on the discovery of the valuable depths of yourself. Spirituality doesn't claim rights to any aspect of your life, and it is all about the freedom of thought and expression. Spiritual communities value and promote original thinkers and truth seekers who are capable of opening the doors to perception for them. Spirituality indicates maturity and is defined by self-discovery and own experiences, where you take full responsibility for your development. It promotes strength, self-respect, and confidence. Human body is cherished and celebrated as the source of pleasure and as a valuable connector to the earthly realm. Spirituality wants you to live to your fullest potential, taking advantage of everything that life and earthly realm have to offer. This life is your reward, and you're expected to enjoy it while you're here. Spirituality allows you to arrive at conclusions that create the 434 mindset, truth-seeking ideology of self-development and progression. It is about searching for love, joy, and hope, which is the equation governing the rules of this earthly existence. If you were to summarize the difference between these two ideologies, it would be this definition. Spirituality is doing what is right regardless what you're told. Religion is doing what you're told, regardless of what is right. It is a simple choice between being in control of your life and letting somebody else make life-changing decisions on your behalf. It is your decision which one you prefer, but if you struggle with it, let me know and we can schedule a chat to discuss it. If you enjoyed listening to me, please donate to this channel. All links below. Thank you. Don't forget to subscribe and follow. Like this video and share it with everyone you care about. For merchandise, go to shop.b434.com. Leave your email address at news.b434.com. Visit the website of the artist and the musician I featured here. For more info or contact, visit b434.com and join 434's social media on YouTube, Facebook, BitChute, Instagram, Spotify, Snapchat, Twitter, Reddit, Discord, Telegram, VK, TikTok, Tumblr, LinkedIn, Dailymotion, SoundCloud, and a few other ones you can see on the screen now. All links in the video description and at b434.com.